Maybe there's a Cleveland show.
Cleveland show. We should start with this. I like this.
Yeah,
we'll just do iterations.
Yeah.
Oh, is there anything this is about?
It's just kind of a hang. I have some interview questions for you, and we'll go over what trended, by the way, on Twitter this week.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's right. All that's good. It was 20 years ago today that Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play. And they've been going in and out of style, but they're guaranteed to raise a smile. So may I introduce to you the act you've known for all these years, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Oh!
All right. Welcome to Group Chat, everybody. Hampton is doing visual bits for me on the podcast. Yeah. Great. Hollywood Hampton's here. He's got his sunglasses on. He was vaping. He skateboarded in. He handed me a business card and took it away when he realized I haven't been on TV.
I don't care what the government says, man. Vaping's good for you.
It is, yeah.
I don't care what Trump's new campaign is. Vaping's great.
We watched the clip of him announcing that vaping's legal. He goes, a lot of people think it's a wonderful thing. It's not very wonderful. Who's saying vaping's a wonderful thing?
A lot of people. He has ghosts.
Yeah. Hampton Yount is here. He is, he's, from fucking Mystery Science Theater 3000. Which do you prefer? Mystery?
No one knows me from the show.
You're Jonah Ray, right?
I'm Jonah Ray. I'm a much more slightly successful comic who's also financially struggling.
Yeah.
So we did Mystery Science Theater on Netflix. People can check it out. But it's funny because it was a while ago, so I don't know if I can still claim any stink to it.
Oh, no. Was the crow problematic?
The crow was problematic. I know.
The crow is
Mystery
canceled.
Science Theater, a lot more N-words.
That was the mystery, is when are they going to say it?
Yeah, we were playing it fast and loose.
In town from L.A.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. What are you in town for? Just to do the show? Or
I did a show with Dave Ross.
Oh, cool.
Last night at Union Hall. It was sold out. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
It was off of our podcast.
Oh, the Suicide Buddies?
We do a podcast called Suicide Buddies for people who are listening. I don't know. If you like podcasts, check out a different podcast.
Dude, people who like podcasts love podcasts.
It's the LA Skank Fest. Or the LA
Skank West.
It's a comedy mental health podcast, but it's mostly just comedy and I don't know.
Yeah,
it's super great. So this was the first part of us just kind of trying to tour and see who's out there, with the audience. And so far it's been great. We did Portland and now this, and they've both been just like amazing shows.
That's awesome.
And kind of the way I want to approach stand-up from now on.
Did you get podcast fans out?
Dude, it was all podcast fans.
That's amazing.
It was sold out with just podcast fans.
I keep hearing like David Bory was saying, like he's been on TV like Conan about. You've been on Conan, and he was like, yeah, well, I didn't like move tickets till fucking All Fantasy Everything. Like,
no, I know, and that blew up too. And
yeah,
it's kind of the new way I think the industry is just moving.
Yeah,
it's like I basically was having this problem with like my agents and my manager, where it's like. The clubs I'd get, that's fine, and you'd work really hard to get a club date, but then like the audience who can come out can pay for like a $50 night out, or more if they have a babysitter. That shit's like $100 upwards.
Yeah, wow, that's
and I was
true.
like, dude, I know I have fans. Like I have people writing me. I'm not crazy,
right?
And it makes you feel crazy because no one can come out to these clubs, and then you're like, they're just poor.
Yeah,
I have fans. They just can afford $10, $15. They can't. Spend like $200 to go to like some crappy fucking club. And shit.
Yeah.
So I really am just like trying to take a Fugazi approach with Dave. It's just like, let's keep the tickets numbers like the price as low as possible. Go to where we know we have fans and like fuck the other shit. Like, you
don't want to do Zanies?
No, I'm done. Like, dude, the last club I did, the owner showed up to pick me up at the hotel, and he was drunk. He drunk drove me to the club.
That's so cool.
That's fucking what clubs are like.
That actually sounds pretty Fugazi, actually.
Yeah. Fugazi, Fugazi.
Hey, Fugazi.
Fuki-esh, Fukumayesh.
Oh, could you talk a little closer in the mic, by the way?
Hi.
Yeah, sorry. Hey, Fugazi. I like that, the Italian guy who goes to Fugazi because he thinks it's like a Sopranos meetup.
I'm on this new dating app, Fugazi.
Hey, Fugazi. Oh, I thought this was Fugabagool.
Dude, it's so hard to be in New York and not just constantly do that voice.
I know. I've lived here for 2 years. I think I just have that voice now. This is me doing an impression of a comedian.
Well, New York's been great for you, man. I mean, we knew each other in L.A.
Yeah,
and everything's been good for you out here.
I'm glad to hear that from someone else because comedy does still get you down. But I think the general like happiness here is a little bit up.
Oh, yeah.
L.A. is, I was just telling you before you turn on the mics, but L.A. just like constantly reminds you if you're not famous and booked that you're not famous and booked. Yeah.
I wonder why our suicide podcast is doing well, especially in L.A.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everyone here is in entertainment.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like if you have mental disease, I insist you move to LA and try and just make a career based on people having approval of you.
That's
like,
so funny because sometimes it can help. I mean, some people's mental illness really comes in their favor in LA. You know, if they have sociopathy or that kind of thing.
You ever think Will Smith is like someone like top tier?
Right.
We all know about Tom Cruise, but someone who's a little bit more affable, I'd say, is Will Smith. And I look at him and I do think there's something really fucking off.
Right. Yeah. Well, wasn't he like a Scientologist for a while or whatever?
He was like courting it, like a romance. They were dating for a little bit, him and Scientology. They just like finger fucked, but they didn't like. He didn't get the.
Woo, Xenu.
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome. Xenu comes down. Welcome to Earth. That's so.
He pronounces all the F's in Earth.
He goes to the Scientology thing. Tell the truth. No, it's all real. Okay, I guess that checks out. I will join.
Nah, he has odd behavior, and the way he talks is like way too like life coachy.
Yeah.
So I same thing with a life coach. I'm like, you probably are just like a deviant, mentally or something.
A lot of the super famous people I've met, there has been like that like empty vessel kind of thing going on a little bit.
That's how you get famous.
Yeah, but I can't tell if they got that way because they got famous or being famous turns you into that because you're like so many different things.
I think being an empty vessel is one of the best ways to become a great actor.
Yes,
like,
completely.
If you really don't bring much of your own bullshit,
and
you're really just like, fill me up.
Yeah.
That's how you get a Tom Cruise.
You're just a cipher for whatever. Yeah.
He's amazing. Like, he'll do a deathbed conversation with his father in Magnolia.
Yeah.
And he'll do, like, Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
And he'll do, like, wacky shit also. Yeah. Like, he's across the board, but that's the thing. He's a total cipher.
Yeah, I remember I listened to him on The Nerdist, actually, back in the day. And
the Rapist podcast. Nerdist.
All right, new rape war, hashtag rape wars.
The famous child rapist
Chris Hardwick,
podcast.
Who robbed and killed a man. And I would like, not allegedly, that's on the record. But I remember Tom Cruise was on, and he said, they were like, what's your favorite movie? And he's just like, I just love movies.
Oh,
and they're like, which one specifically? And he's like, I love all of them. I just love them.
I love movies.
It's like, you're in the business of movies. You are fucking in this business. You should have a go-to. Say Gone with the Wind. My mom has a go-to favorite movie. She's seen like 5 movies total.
That's the funny thing is like any other person on the planet would have even just knee-jerk been like, I don't know, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just anything.
Right.
But that's how fucking
crazy,
empty and foreign that dude is. And
Yeah.
I feel slightly bad, but I mean only in the way that I feel bad for people who have clear mental illness that's just not being addressed and everyone's like avoiding the conversation.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's also, a billionaire, so who's to say?
I'm sure Tom Cruise has a great life. Although
yeah, it's like, why am I like feeling bad when I'm like, why can't this billionaire come out of the closet and just have a fun gay life?
I think you do have because there isn't a part of you that, of me at least, that can be empathetic for certain people, like when they're that fucking dysfunctional, like Tom Cruise. It's like there's something wrong, and it's like nobody just jumps up on the couch like that or whatever. Do you remember that? He was like,
"Oh, do I remember?"
Yeah,
jumping on the couch. Right?
I got another thing.
Remember 9/11? Right?
By the way, Kramer's Laugh Factory said, I don't know if you saw it.
Isn't it funny he was right?
Let's get him on Skankfest next year.
That guy turned out. You know what's so funny is Seinfeld is the guy who keeps coming out with all this like, people are too sensitive.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Kramer, it's like you can't say the N-word.
Kramer!
But it's like, yeah, he was the guy that was defending Michael Richards.
Right, yeah.
When it all happened, I'm like, dude, just shut the fuck up. Like, stop being like, why can't you, like Seinfeld of all people, like why can't I say the N-word?
I would love Seinfeld to do that bit in the middle of his act. Why can't I say it? They can say it. Why can't I? I've got the letter N in my name.
Jerry, they're everywhere.
What am I supposed to call him, Jerry? Jerry, I got a new idea.
Okay.
You're not going to like it. I think I want Frasier to say the N-word more, though.
Dude, that'd be fucking so competitive. We get all the
N-word being
must-see TV.
Niles.
We get all the must-see TV shows, all the Friends.
Woody Harrelson.
Mad about you.
Yeah.
They're mad about N-words.
Mad about black people.
Paul Reiser's mad.
Whoa, Paul Reiser was like a mainstream star. That's crazy.
That show is, I was just thinking about it, Mad About You.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so mediocre.
Right.
And like most of the storylines are just pleasant things.
Yeah.
Like the conflict is so minor. I was like, how was that? Like, that's just how things were so geared at the time, where it's like, it's a Manhattan couple, they're in love, and it's a blonde girl and a Jewish man, and they get it. Like, sometimes the dog, where is he? Oh, he's in the other room. It's the level of
nowadays, like it's like Euphoria. Like, what if your kid's fucking all the time and they're overdosing and fuck?
Must see teens getting
high. Yeah.
I haven't seen Euphoria. I mean, I hear all the bad things.
I mean, I watched it, and I watched the first episode, and it did feel like very like Hollywood trying to normalize like kids, like and I don't. This is very like Christian mom of me. Like it should. I mean, the show should exist. I mean, I feel like. But I also see the other side where it's like Kids was out or whatever and like Less Than Zero. But there's just something weird about it in the wake of like all the Epstein shit and like the Hollywood pedophile stuff where it's like, hey, let's normalize 16. You want to see some 16-year-old hard cocks? And it's like, who wrote this? What room of middle-aged men was throwing these ideas out?
Epstein in the writer's room.
Yeah. He was a great You have to separate the art from the artist with Epstein.
He would go to the island to work on the scripts. You guys got to understand, it's a writer's retreat.
Yeah, he killed himself like Hemingway. He was like, I don't know if I'll write anything as great again.
He's got like a long feathered pen that he just like has inside a child's ass. It's like his inkwell, and he's writing the scripts for Euphoria on long papyrus sheets.
Fuck, that's so funny.
That's what I would do if I had my Mystery Sex Island.
Yeah, Mystery Sex Island Theater 3000.
Mystery Sex Island.
And we're hoping it doesn't get picked up again. This podcast will ensure it.
Wild times.
Yeah, crazy. I would like to go to Little St. James. Are there still flights?
Lil Saint is not little. They call it Lil, a little apostrophe.
Lil Saint, like the little rascals.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the idea. All right, Epstein will sell you an island. You can choose between the Bahamas or Little. I'm in. As soon as he heard the word little.
You didn't even let me say the word pussy.
Little underage. Well, now you're just sweetening the deal.
Let's just change it to Little St. James. This guy's getting too horned up.
His pants are off.
That's what I just call my bathroom, is my own Little St. James. Honey, I got a Little St. James for like 5-10 minutes. Don't bother me.
Ooh, the FBI's got to raid that.
Don't come in.
Do not go in there.
That's how Jim Carrey evaded years of FBI scrutiny of his child porn collection. Is he just walking out and go, do not go in there.
Sir, we have a warrant. Sir, we have a warrant. You're not going to like it. It's pretty gnarly.
All right. Oh, damn. He's funny. Let's go.
You're making me laugh, Jim.
Chief didn't say it'd be funny.
That's my playbook. Be funny, then they'll never investigate. You wrote for MTV's Ridiculousness.
Thank you.
You're
welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like the inside info. Did you quit because you saw security cam footage of me sneaking into the writers' room to do a sketch one time where I played Hitler?
Wait, what happened? Did that really happen?
Yeah, that did. Do you know Zane LaRue?
Yeah.
He was like a PA on there, and we filmed a sketch in the writer's room like after hours where I was Hitler pretending to do Doritos commercials. Which,
that's awesome,
yeah.
Dude.
We submitted it to Doritos for their Super Bowl challenge.
That's why I was like... They said it was a revenge firing, which is very odd.
Wait, did you get fired?
No, I left. You were
like, this place is too ridiculousness.
It's not like my proudest achievement. I mean, it's definitely like I did it. I was there. I would take it. A lot of the people who I worked with, but I mean, it's definitely like writing for Ow My Balls.
Yeah. They just said that on Cumtown this week. That's so funny.
Which has worth. I do think it's weird because like I'm very cynical, but I think like working there and just seeing like the enjoyment in an audience, it would give like 12-year-olds, 10. Like there would be kids who'd be like coming from Make-A-Wish to go meet Rob, and you would just kind of see.
Whoa, really?
Oh yeah, like this. He's like beloved, and especially by kids. And that's the thing. I was like, this show is more for kids.
Rob Dyrdek, yeah.
And I get all its flaws, but I'm also like, sometimes I can just step back and kind of enjoy something on a level of like, it's not for me.
Yeah,
but,
right.
So I know how to write for that.
Is that tough to write for something that's like totally not your demo?
I'd say that's easier once you figure out the groove.
Okay.
Like I was there in the early days. I was there season 2, so like we came up with a lot of like the format, like how it goes.
Yeah.
And, because the first season was like totally ambiguous and wild and. It was super ridiculous.
It was super ridiculous, isn't it?
And then I don't know. So yeah, like you had to write it like a real show. Like I mean, there's, not as script intensive as like other things, but you'd have to totally map out what's going to happen in any sort of thing you shoot.
Sure, totally.
So that was the job. It was like production basically.
Right.
So I liked it, but then I think at the time that I left, I was like. Seeing a lot of my friends do Conan and moving on to other things, I was like, I like you guys. I love a lot of you, and I want to, but I don't want to leave on good terms. But I'm ready. Baby bird's gotta fly.
You gotta fly, man. When you were just a little ridiculous, but then when you left, you were full ridiculousness.
And now I'm like broke, and I'm like, shit, I should call him up.
Yo, Rob, what's up, man?
Rob, dude, what's happening?
I'll be your new big.
I just put on blackface and like put a big pillow under my.
He doesn't.
Worse because he's dead now.
He's like, Big, you're back from the dead. He buys it for like months.
That's the thing. Yeah, working on that side of things. Especially like MTV. It's like you just realize how false a lot of things are, and you see a lot of the production side of things, which I like actually. I kind of like getting. Not lied to almost directly to my face. I like seeing how it actually operates,
right?
And how these decisions get made, and it's so surface level that like anything you ever assume about Hollywood is 100% true.
How so?
When you're like, oh, they're just vain, and like it'll probably go to like somebody who's a little bit more everything
every time,
everything you're saying, yes. Like there's no like, I wonder if is it vain?
Yeah, when I started stand-up, I was like, I'm still kind of a little fanboy, but it's funny, every year in comedy, I keep going. I get more and more just like, oh, wow, the people that I thought were amazing are all fucking idiots, and all the people behind them are even dumber.
Yeah.
But yeah, you also wrote on. Real quick to that, by the way, a point you made earlier. Even those shows that maybe you don't love but are geared towards like kids or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll bet. The generation above us thought like Viva La Bam was the worst trash in the world.
You don't think Viva La Bam is the
If you
worst
rewatch
trash?
it to me, that show means so much.
It's so much defined our childhoods.
Yeah.
No, I know. I was a teenager too. And it's like...
Wait, can you, like, if I ran into the guy that wrote the bit where Bam slaps Don Vito while he's going very slowly on a scooter and he can't escape, and Bam just walks fast and slaps him, I'd be like, you're a genius.
Yeah.
You are a fucking genius.
It's like I worked with Jeff Tremaine a bit, and
Oh,
he's
cool.
the guy who created
that guy.
Jackass.
Yeah.
So it's like you get introduced to him by being like, so Jeff's coming in today, and he's going to try and hit you in the balls. And you're like, all right. And he does. And it's like...
He tried to hit you in the balls?
I think 3 different times.
How so? Like with what? With his hand?
He tries to do a sack tap, yeah.
Oh.
This is what Johnny Knoxville does to people.
Oh.
It's not...
I don't think I'd like that.
To them, it's... any rational... But, dude, you saw Viva La Bam. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That is quite literally... He's not in any way hiding who he is.
Right.
Like, he even has his assistant be like... he's gonna try and hit you in the balls. So you like, if you don't want that, you better say something.
Right.
You know,
it's like getting roasted by Don Rickles. It's like, well, it's an honor, sir.
Excuse me, Don Rickles made fun of me.
This man was very rude.
I realized when I wrote for Don Rickles' show, he'd make fun of my toupee, my weight, my wife's ethnicity.
Mr. Rickles, why aren't you being more nice?
Yeah, so it's like, it's so on the surface. But I mean, that's something I kind of enjoyed watching, was just like the way they'd construct shows is very pure at heart.
Right.
And they would like reminisce about like that bit on Jackass where they like tricked the guy to go into the trunk of the car and like,
the fake terrorist guy.
Like when I could just like talk to him about that, it was just like the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like a lot of this humor is dated, and there's a reason those people tend to like become so powerful you can't even almost question them.
Right.
But then it's like,
because you just have people around and being like, which I honestly, I think I would kiss the whole Jackass crew's ass, literally, for a prank. Sounds funny. Hire me for Jackass 4.
That sounds wild. That even like Jackass had a writer's room.
Yeah, no, it did.
They would sit around and they literally wrote like,
Yeah.
Steve-O had to think of stuff. And he was like, I'm gonna like eat a goldfish, puke it.
Yeah.
Like I think
I
that was
loved
the
it.
whole
Like
bit.
Bam being like, God damn it, it's not gonna fucking work, yo. There's no way we're not funny. We're not fucking funny, yo. I can't crack this poop on a frog bit. I can't fucking crack it, yo.
It's the fucking Aaron Sorkin level writer's room for Jackass, and like Steve-O's all methed out. He's like,
okay, what if we talk about the government through like the veil of Homeland Security, but I just like put my pubes on his face.
I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is commentary on the BP oil spill.
yeah, I love that all required some sort of effort, some sort of writing, and it's definitely a different part of your brain.
Absolutely.
I met like this guy who was basically a writer for like Big Brother, that magazine, that skate mag that Jeff Tremaine made, and that
he made that?
Yeah.
Okay.
All that became Jackass.
Oh, cool.
Basically.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Through like some articles that Johnny Knoxville had written. Remember when he like self-tased himself and he wrote like a thing about doing all this wild shit to himself, like tasing.
I don't think
himself.
I've read that. That's crazy.
And then that article got picked up by Rolling Stone, and that's what made Johnny Knoxville. Then MTV was like, "You really do this stuff?" And he's like, "Yeah." And there's like tapes of other people who fucking do this thing.
Oh,
and, like,
wow.
Steve-O was like training for clown, college and shit. So it's like he knew like skaters and like artist freaks. And
Damn.
They were like, "Let's all just hurt ourselves for fucking money." And like,
it's one of the most lucrative business that became like one of the biggest franchises in comedy history.
So I knew one of the guys who was like an early writer with them who got like dropped off.
Oh no!
And he was like getting a real like, gimme writer's job. Like he had to probably beg, or Jeff Tremaine like threw him a bone or something. So he was like in season 2 of.
I dream of being that guy, by the way.
That's like.
I would love to be that guy. I can't wait, and I probably will be. All my friends are gonna get famous, and I'll be like, "Hey, what's up,
dude?
What's up, Andrew Caudill?"
I get it, and I think that's a healthy way. Like I
Yeah.
respect that Jeff would do that, because all my work
It is cool,
has
yeah.
been through friends.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
that job that he then got with that was through a friend.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and so. But he was giving this guy a job, and basically he was in the writer's room. It was like such a bad fit that this guy, knew how to write like funny things for a skate mag, but had no idea of like
television
or
yeah.
anything. And he would just get angrier and drunker and come to work drunker and drunker. And then one day he just came in a cop uniform, and he was like, I swear to God, he came into a writer's room in a cop uniform and was like, just drunk. And he was like, I'm going to lay down. And he just laid down for like 7 hours. So that's just like one of those things I'm like, wow, it just so makes sense that this is a guy who knew like early Jackass people. Like he showed up in a cop uniform and he was like, this is so funny, right? And we're all like, no, dude, we had like a bunch of work to do.
Yeah,
today.
this is a job. You're at your job.
I'm all for a good time, but
Yeah.
like, this doesn't even like help.
That
in any
might
way,
be a
or-
funny thing to do at an open mic, but if you're in
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. I think a good lesson is just always work with friends and try and have as good a time as possible.
Yeah, I got to get some friends. I guess that would be a good step one for my career.
Get some people who like you.
Yeah. Ooh, that's gonna be tough. Yeah, you know, Hampton is funny because you're a guy that I like. So much comedy is being like kind of jaded and just like tuning out during people's sets, but you're like totally a guy in LA that like I'd be excited if you were on a lineup. Like your stand up is fucking great.
Dude, that's very nice.
Yeah, it's really good. It's
Shut up.
Yeah, I remember one time we did a show at like the Pack Theater and I was like clutching onto my set of like stuff I'd had for like 5 years or whatever. And you go up there like, hey, Pokemon Go's weird. It was like released like the day before and you had this like great bit fleshed out. I was like, I feel like a fucking idiot.
Dude, if I ever started a bit with, hey guys, Pokemon Go's weird.
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. You said, why don't they Pokemon Go to the polls?
Why don't they make the whole plane out of the Pokemon Go?
No, I think you started at knock knock and you
I know, you're like, yeah, you were a genius.
Yeah.
You were a savant. The way you talked about how, you know, black people and white people eat pussy differently, the way you did it.
Yeah. It was.
You were a maestro.
Sometimes that will happen. You'll see a guy do a great like New York versus LA bit, and I'm like, oh my God, like the formula works.
I honestly think the real problem is I don't think stand-up is that good in general.
Yeah.
Like, it really isn't that hard to be different.
Right.
It really, like, so much is just the same.
What do you mean? How do you make yourself, like, stand out?
Oh, I don't know. That is just being yourself, right?
Right.
I mean, but
did that take a while to, like, be comfortable on stage for you? Or like?
Yeah, totally. Oh, yeah. My first year especially, like...
you started in D.C., right?
Yeah, like Virginia, D.C.
Okay.
I had this... what was it called? Oh, shit, I can't even remember. It was some dumb fucking club in McLean, Virginia. And
McLean.
Jordan McLean is Alan Rickman's club.
McLean. Every set ends with us barring the doors, and you have to get out through the rafters.
I come up and I have like the microphone taped to the back of my
neck.
Yeah. John McLean.
Your shirt's off.
Yeah. So I just remember. Oh shit! What were we talking about?
Starting out, like, so you were in DC for like a year. Like, how long did it take before you like?
Yeah, I was super nervous. Like, my leg would shake all the time. That's what I was trying.
Really?
To remember. Yeah. I was like, I never really drank much before it, and that really was like where I'd like half a year in. I was like, let me have a beer and see how that goes. And like, it took so long for me to just not shake.
Right.
And it wasn't noticeable, and I'd kind of every now and then be like, you know, someone would say something nice and be like, you didn't notice, like.
The shaky
like
leg.
How nervous like it was. Yeah, like
was it a nerves thing?
Yeah, I used to have crazy stage fright when I was growing up, and it's like I was definitely like the kid in class who couldn't shut up, and that's fine at the back of the room. But then one teacher one time really tried to put me on the spot, and it really fucking showed my true colors because like. It's like third grade or something. She's like, you know what? Why don't you come up here? Like, do your little thing. You know? She like got me to go up there, and then she sat in my desk, and then started just like banging on the table as she's like, no, go on, go.
Whoa, like try to troll you.
Yeah, like a sociopath would do that to a child.
Yeah,
but it was like,
wow,
fuck. Like,
yeah,
man, she handed me in my ass.
Yeah, because you were disturbing the class.
Yeah,
that happened to me, except my teacher kicked me in the shin and drew blood. Completely true story. That's how much he hated my interruptions.
I sometimes reminisce about how sociopathic some teachers were. Like one, I guess I shouldn't say her name because I don't know. But the thing that was the worst thing that had ever happened. She was like from the Ukraine or something. So she was an immigrant. She taught French, and in one class she just kind of gave everyone their tests back, and we'd all done poorly, and then she just made a motion that like a finger gun or like handgun, and she went to everybody in the class like, bang, I kill you, bang, I kill you, and she's like crying, and then she puts her head down on the desk and starts sobbing, crying.
What the fuck?
And we all
That's so mentally ill.
No, I know. And then after she does that to everyone in the class, she before she breaks down at the table, she goes, bang, I killed myself. And then he cries, and we all watch her cry for like 20 minutes.
That's insane. That's so fucking deranged. What the fuck?
I know. I think about stuff like that all the time. They hate.
Dude,
I mean, teachers kind of had a problem.
Mid-Atlantic is fucking wild, man.
Teachers had a problem with me, or I had with them for the most part. So I would kind of agitate a bit.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, that was just like,
teachers either love or absolutely fucking hate my guts.
I thought about that shit immediately when people were like, "We got to arm the teachers." I was like, literally,
yeah.
A teacher just threatened.
That's more of a
20
threat.
kids' lives. You know, like,
yeah. But we do need to arm the teachers, and we're getting in the political segment now. And folks, I had a teacher who.
Folks, I've got the documents. You're gonna want to check it out.
We got Hampton here. Hampton, why are guns amazing?
You're gonna, folks. You're gonna want to go on YouTube. You want to Google Obama gun conspiracy.
Obama is a gun.
He's a gun.
God damn. I was thinking we need to bring back Alex Jones till we get to the bottom of the Epstein thing, you know?
It's amazing.
Like when they brought Hannibal Lecter to get Buffalo Bill, you know? He's just in a straitjacket, like, I can fucking smell your cum.
Love the suit.
Epstein isn't real. He was never real.
That's my favorite line from Silence of the Lambs. It's just when he looks at her, the governor, and he just goes, "Love the suit."
I need to rewatch it.
Just like a real
love the suit.
Love the suit.
Would you fuck me? I love that Chris from Family Guy, the original voice, was a Buffalo Bill impression. That rules so hard. Oh, Dad, I'm going to wear your skin.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Damn, more power.
Seth Green used to be very funny. And then
I haven't checked in on Robot Chicken.
Oh, you haven't?
It had its moments.
Yeah, I used to love it. It's winning Emmys. I have like a bunch of friends who have Emmys now. And by a bunch, I mean 2 girls I know have Emmys because
Do you think
it keeps
stop
winning.
Motion?
Yeah.
So that maybe.
It's like best variety animated
Stop
short
motion.
form, which is, there's got to be like 3 shows total that are
awesome.
that. It's like, that's the one I've heard of. You win the Oscar.
That's you and Moral Oral. I don't think that exists.
No, it had 1 season in 06. Speaking of Adult Swim, you wrote on Loiter Squad, which on your website says which you said sucked. I guess the one thing Tyler couldn't create is comedy.
Nah, I don't know. It's more like
Did Earl at least give you a free sweatshirt?
I like that this is one you reading my IMDb basically and being like, Hampton, did these things happen? I'm like, yes, kind of. I'll also tell you, like, none of the shit is ever like that accurate. So yeah, I did write for Loiter Squad, and so they did come in. And
wait, they weren't there?
The Odd Future guys.
They didn't write. They weren't the writers. I assume they were like the writers' room.
They were in like 3 times. Like it did. I mean, and it was only like 6 weeks, if that. You know what I mean? So like that's a lot out of their schedule.
Totally.
And they were like, you know, a beginning meeting, a middle meeting, end meeting, and then they're on calls and stuff.
Sure.
So, and between to coordinate this entire group, which really was down to like 3 of them. So it was mostly Earl Sweatshirt and Tyler the creator. So like Tyler didn't really think I was. I mean, there was nothing much to say between the 2 of us. So like, I pitched him jokes and he'd be like, kind of, no, not that, maybe that, you know, like
weird.
But then Earl was oddly like, you know, like wanted to like start writing notes. And he's like, okay, so what if we, you know, like he just completely started doing the show like the way he saw it,
right?
And that was cool. Like it really wasn't what ever saw the light of day, but I was like, you know, that's interesting. This guy has no reason to give a shit about this show.
Yeah, but he was like really into it.
He's just like, yeah, this will be funny. Let's do this.
Oh,
and, like,
wow.
He was really like engaged.
That's
and everything.
cool.
And I was like, that's great, man. That's more than I really expected.
Yeah.
You know?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You should say hi to Tyler tonight. He's playing Madison Square Garden. You should go just say hey.
They would not remember me. But the best thing was
you should tweet at him, can I get a comp?
When they first came into the office, they brought in BB guns.
Really?
And they were just shooting everyone with BB guns.
Bang, you're dead. Bang, you're dead. Bang,
they
you're
were
dead.
mostly shooting each other, but then trying to see who in like Jeff Tremaine's crew they could get away with shooting.
Oh.
That's the thing is like Jeff's like, it's so wild here, just have fun. And like people sometimes don't know to, you know, chill out
right,
and not
right.
take that completely to heart.
Right, right.
And yeah, I was like, that's I'm not cool. I gotta leave.
Yeah.
I gotta not be around a BB gun being shot around.
That sounds like it hurts.
I'll come
I'd be
back.
the same way. I'd be like, cool guys. Where's the bathroom? I've worked there for months.
And then one day they just wanted to watch regular show all day.
Oh, weird.
And they were eating those new Dorito tacos from Taco Bell, and like them and everyone just ate a bunch. We all just ate a bunch of tacos.
Sounds extremely 2014.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think we're just from different worlds, but I think he's cool.
That's good, yeah. I saw him on Fairfax one time, and I just thought he had the biggest head I've ever seen. He had a fucking huge head. I'm like, maybe this is the secret to being famous, is just having a big head. Entourage said it in one episode, so I assume it's true.
Does a big head look good on camera?
That's what they said on Entourage, and I have no reason to doubt them yet. They have yet to lead me astray.
There's more. Entourage has yet to have led you astray.
Yeah. I love calling Asian guys gay.
There's more.
Because Entourage told me to do that.
Gaysian?
Gay. You Gaysian.
Geishas?
Geisha. Memoirs of a Gay Asian guy.
Memoirs of a Geisha?
Yeah. Memoirs of a Gay Guy. That's my new movie. I had anal sex. That's my memoirs.
It's a page turner.
In that you turn one page and it's over.
First page to last page, page turner. It was the show. Let's see. What other writing credits can I think of off the top? I wrote for Fantasy Factory before Ridiculousness.
What's Fantasy Factory?
That was another Rob Dyrdek show.
Okay.
I wrote for that for one episode.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
No.
I'm trying to remember. I've written for Chris Hardwick pilot that never saw the light of day.
Oh, cool.
Or some other pilots.
Nerdist the show.
No. There was. It was kind of like at midnight he was developing, and then this was another show.
Oh, okay.
That was also
similar.
It was about like internet culture.
Why didn't they just give him a 7th show? He had
shit.
I remember back at that time he had like 8 shows on the air. It's like, might as well give him another one.
So I've been around. I've had my hand in a lot of different.
Yeah, definitely.
pockets.
Yeah. I just love hearing about this stuff because like writing jobs is definitely like the goal for me in a lot of ways. So it's like kind of cool to get.
3.
Yeah, you 3.
I've yet to get a good writing job, really.
Really?
Like, even the best one I have, it's like it's not that consistent, and like I have friends who are like winning Emmys, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like
that's crazy.
I would love to be writing on some staffed. Scripted show.
Yeah, I think SNL is hiring. You should look into that. That's like the mom advice every time. One time my mom watched The Daily Show and was like, you should do that. Oh, you mean Trevor Noah's job?
Fuck that. Yeah. I'm staying in LA, dude. That's a big thing. It's like a lot of times I'll get halfway through a New York writing packet thing, and I'm like, I don't want to move here, so I'm not gonna finish this.
Why do you not like New York?
I just don't want to. Me and my wife now live in LA, and got a great life. It's all my friends and everything. It's just what It's what I've. My sister and brother live there. It's like.
Wait, you got married?
Yeah.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome. Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Oh, great. She's great.
Yeah, I know. You should marry her. She's great.
But just in case you're having second thoughts, in my opinion, she's great.
No, and I think that's a little bit more of a harder and fast rule for me than for anyone else, and I totally understand why a lot of people have that, kind of back and forth. But I think there's also just never been much of an appeal to live here and grind it out. I'm just like, dude, LA is lovely.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is, and if things are generally working out, no reason to leave.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think you should leave LA. There's some open micer friends I'm have where I was like, just get out, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. I heard some good news maybe today that there might be some new laws with rent control in LA.
Yeah, no, they just passed it. California, it's it's all rent control.
That's great.
Which is sick.
Yeah, it was looking bad for a while. Basically, my old apartment got demolished. Every place was getting demolished.
I had an apartment in Los Feliz when I lived there, and literally they raised the rent $700 a month. And I was like, oh, so you just want to kick me out? Like, it was so incredible. It was so insane. I was like, it was a great apartment, but it was like not the best location.
That's what they want to do. And that's why it's like there's fucking thankfully laws.
Yeah.
So that's why everybody was losing their shit. Like everyone was losing where they were living.
Yeah.
So it was a huge problem.
That's why gentrification exists. It's because honestly, landlords get so greedy whenever a neighborhood becomes at all cool or whatever.
Well, there is also just the price of, things. You got to raise prices on stuff due to inflation or whatever. You know? But I mean, I hear you also if suddenly.
I take it back. I love landlords. And fuck this rent control.
Nah, they're probably.
How about rent
bad.
uncontrol? Rent unleashed. That's my new bill.
My landlord at the apartment building that got demolished was really chill because he was like, "Hey, you know, they're gonna demolish this place and you got to get out of here." And I was like, "Well, when?" And he's like, "I don't know, like whenever's convenient." So I just stayed there for a year.
Wow.
And didn't pay rent.
Whoa.
I just stopped paying rent. I was like, "Well, I know legally, like they can't really.
Yeah. What are they
kick
gonna
me
do?
out, and
Yeah.
they're telling me they're gonna demolish it."
Wow, that's
It's the
fucking
best.
smart as shit. I'd be
Dude.
so scared to do that.
Also, California, LA especially, the best for like a lot of tenant rights stuff. Like they just can't be forcing like old women out on the streets, you know, because they on a whim decide.
That would be funny though.
They all form improv troops. Think they're gonna get famous.
All right, here's my impression of John Wayne.
John Wick.
Yeah, what if John Wick was John Wayne? Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back, partner. Wow, there's a lot of layers to that character.
Too many layers.
Too many layers. Dude.
And then they have to pay, so they have to pay you to leave also.
Really?
So not only did I not pay rent, but then at the end they had to pay me like fat stacks to
Fuck.
leave. So I recommend this to anyone, and I have over social media over the last like couple years who were losing their place. I was like, do not leave. Like, if they change the lock, hire a lawyer. Do not leave. You get to live there.
Real? I had no
Till
idea.
They pay you to leave. They can't just force you to in Los Angeles.
Right.
There's so many fucking tenant rights.
I think
laws.
California has way more tenant right laws. Here, the landlords have all the fucking power for sure.
So in in California, it also works the other way, where if you have like say a backyard property and you're just like, hey, I don't want you to live here anymore, that guy like doesn't have to leave. Like,
Whoa.
you can't like. It's so hard to get that guy legally out of your place.
Wow, that's awesome. So the
Yeah.
fucking drunken guy on beer, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That guy is fucking in his goddamn rights, baby.
He's in his rights, and it also keeps old ladies off the streets forming improv troops.
Thank God improv never got to the boomer generation. Thank God it started with Colin Mockery. You wrote a pilot for Sci-Fi. It didn't get picked up.
Yeah.
Did you consider pitching them reruns of Star Trek: The Next Generation? That's all I see on there.
On Sci-Fi?
Yeah.
Do they play Star Trek Next Gen?
I haven't watched Sci-Fi in years, and in a long time.
It's different. The big thing Sci-Fi does now is it's all like Sharknado versus
Oh.
Octopus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. Like they really like the Sharknado thing kind of blew up for them.
Yeah. You know Trump was going to play the president in one of the Sharknados?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he said he agreed to do it. I don't know. I remember it fell through, but it was like in Sharknado 2. They were going to cut to the president. It was going to be Trump. And he was going to be like, wow, I am the prez. We have to get rid of the Sharknados.
That guy's like such a savant. It's insane.
So fun to watch.
How funny would that have been? Because that in no way would have been a detriment. He would be in the exact.
He would have been the best part. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like it just he's so bulletproof that kind of like it's the same as him doing WWF.
Yeah, he did.
You know
he
what I'm saying?
he did a Comedy Central roast in 2011 where
dude's absolutely bulletproof.
he not only did WWE, he doesn't sweep it on the rug. He has his like team post gifs of him like knocking out Vince McMahon and shit like that.
Well, the Sci-Fi thing was interesting because when we went to Sci-Fi, basically the show pitch was to do kind of a Nathan For You, but it's like an Alex Jones type of show. Like I'm hunting down conspiracy theories and like trying to prove them. Basically.
Whoa, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it was good.
That's a really cool idea.
They were totally down. And
I would watch that in a fucking second. I would. But I also love conspiracy theory shit.
That's why it was like. It's like based off of me, basically. You know, like my own family and what, their background is. And I'd say, the pilot, what we made, it's a really good example of like when you just say yes to everything or every note, you just wind up with a product that you're just completely not into anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm really happy with everyone I worked with, but I think what came out, I never felt like putting up online or anything like that.
Right, yeah.
And when we went to go pitch them, it was like perfect timing. And they were like, we are trying to come up with comedy stuff because same as what you're saying, like they're just like, we play sci-fi stuff.
Right.
And the one thing that had hit for them kind of comedy was this Sharknado stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So in the meeting, they were very much like, Sharknado was like the surprise hit, and we've made like our 5th Sharknado.
Right,
and, like, They were trying
we
to
need something new.
They were trying to make another comedy show which is kind of like a daily show sci-fi kind of thing. And they were like, this will work really good with that. But then like the Daily Show sci-fi show never happened. So then they were like, well, we can't just release your show.
Just one comic.
And
that
they were like,
sucks.
They were like,
shit,
you're not like famous, and so like,
oh,
which is fine. I like that. I like honesty above all things.
That is nice.
They were just like, you're not strong enough as a lead of a whole comedy block,
right?
Like invest in.
Yeah,
I was like, fair.
I need to be led into. Yeah,
but it was wild, man, because it's like the same week I sold that idea to Sci-Fi. That was the week that Mystery Science Theater 3000 had premiered. And it was the same week my agents like just dropped me.
Whoa! They dropped you the week Mystery Science Theater premiered?
Yeah.
Why? Did they tell you why?
Yeah, they were like, we do not know what to do with you, career-wise.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks.
They were like, you're just not like doing what we thought you would, and it's like it's not like enough, and hope you understand.
Yeah.
And they kind of were like,
call us when you're a Muslim woman.
Well, they kind of even did it in a shittier way, where they're like, well, we're like hip hop getting you back. You know what I mean? Like,
right? Yeah. Moving one step back.
Like,
yeah.
We're not dropping you, but if you get something, give us a call. I was like, so that was like 2 years ago, and I've not.
Yeah, that's so gross.
That was literally when I was like, fuck this shit. I'm going to like make a podcast. I swear to God, which is very dumb, but I was like,
no.
I'm tired of like going to people for money and for opportunities. And I was like, I have to just start something that at least in a year will be something.
Yeah.
Or it can be something. And it's like, I don't know. I tell comics all the time, I'm just like, you can live in LA, you can have a career here, but like, do not think like the industry is ever going to give you anything. It's either through friends or you make it yourself.
Right.
And then they'll want you.
It's kind of a beautiful thing about comedy, I think, too. Because, like, acting, it's like, what are you going to fucking do? I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Live your dream.
You're a vessel.
Oh, God.
You're an empty vessel.
Yeah. Hope that lack of any personality doesn't get you down.
Did you ever take, like, an acting class in L.A.?
Yeah, I took a commercial acting class. I don't know if I took like an acting class.
How were the people in the class? Like,
they were all super nice and super hot. They were just like very nice and like, but in a way that was a little like fake. It was classic. Yeah, a little fake, a little desperate. There's a few. All the nice actors I met were all in improv classes. The ones in the commercial acting classes, it was like everyone was like, "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm going to be the best at acting in this whole class." It was very fucking hand raising. Yeah. A lot of there's some Tracy Flicks from. You ever see Election?
Hi Hollywood, whose dick can I suck?
Exactly.
I'd like to be famous, please.
It doesn't matter how old or gross. Yeah, and that was Brandon Wardell who said that.
They had the realism to just be like, I know I'm going to be sucking dick, but I just have a real cheery, go get 'em attitude about it.
Literally, man, it's totally the light and dark. Like those people are the light and dark at the same time.
Like, speaking of like those agents, like it's like the darkness is like I'd go on meetings or auditions, and there'd be times. This is all pre like Me Too.
Yeah,
where they were like
pre-2, I call it
pre-2, the prequel pre-2. Yeah, they were like
before we thought rape was bad.
This guy's got a reputation. He's gonna be like saying a lot of stuff to you, but like just go like take the meeting and be nice and just like leave and just take the meeting and like and it's a totally a guy just like oh man, she's so hot like. You would just be gorgeous, like in a movie or something. You should take off your shirt sometime. Well, I didn't say that. Like
he did that.
Like that sort of thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it was like I went on like a couple of those.
Really?
And it was just like that mix between just auditions that were kind of nightmares. I was like, this is so fucking insane to me.
Yeah.
Like I'd go on auditions for like the lead role of something. And I'm an unknown, and like I'd be like, this is ridiculous. Like this is either written for like Matthew Perry or Jay Baruchel. Like this is the lead of an ABC
right
sitcom thing, and like it's like Jay's new life. So it's like one of those sitcoms that's worked around an actor who's like barely recognizable.
Yeah.
It's like Jay's in the city. Now. So, yeah.
Jeff Rogan is.
Exactly. So it's like. A lot of just confusion with that. And I'd always be like, there's so many characters in this script who are funny. They're one line. They're the weirdo.
Yeah.
Why am I not reading for this?
Interesting.
Like, what is this perception you have of me where they were like, either you're like going to, like, they're gambling. And they're like, either he's going to pay off and be like this
huge
huge star,
yeah,
or nothing,
right?
And I was just the whole time I was just like, no, like my hero's like Dana Gould, like I want to do like bit parts. I want to be funny,
right?
I want to do the
funniest character, yeah.
And let's build a career based off of the fact that I'm funny.
Yeah, that's smart.
Like,
that's smart.
Like, well, he's funny. How can we convince him the audience that he's not funny?
Let's make him the straight man in every scene.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm the romantic lead, so therefore you gotta want to fuck me or something.
Yeah,
it's like it's a whole level that you're trying to apply to like stand up that just doesn't even fucking factor. It's like I know how to like show up and do, like a version of a character,
right? Totally,
or something like that. So I don't know. I was just like, wow, I never get to read for anything interesting. It's always the lead basically, and it would be
must be nice.
And I'm like one of 500 people, sort of thing.
Right,
it's just
right,
like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm always
discouraging.
Whenever I got an audition for anything, and not on your level, but just even for like commercials or that kind of thing, is always like, all right, so the creepy, weird, insane man who smells bad and trips on himself and farts, and everyone laughs at him, and then he kills somebody.
Hey, Robbie, I've begged for these roles. I've tried to influence the meeting by showing up with piss-stained, cum-stained pants, and please let me read for the Kramer.
You have a knife in your hand. God. Yeah, if I got so many breakdowns that were like, not conventionally handsome, no one wants to fuck him, smells bad. Can't get it together.
Can I get Robbie? Yeah, get Robbie on the phone. Assistant, get me Robbie immediately. And I know a guy.
Yeah, I never got these roles, so they just brought me in to humiliate me with the breakdown.
No, I would have been so dope at that.
I think, but that's smart of you to know that that's like the lane that you should be in. My ego completely got in my way whenever I got those, and I would get my feelings hurt.
Hear you. Yeah, that is pretty rough. I mean, they are like super blunt.
Yeah.
That's again like one of those things about like, you probably have that conception about LA. Yes.
Yeah.
It is 100% a meat market.
Yeah.
Because it is this whole job of putting pictures in front of people, and it's just like, yeah, there's some level of work that's being done there.
LA is such a cesspool, man. I'm glad that you love it, but I mean that darkness really got to me. Just like that like industry, like all the bullshit and like the superficiality. That was really tough.
I feel that from social media. I don't get that from the friends I hang out with.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
who do you hang out with in LA, by the way?
Dave Ross, my co-host.
Dave's hilarious, by the way. Really nice guy too.
Oh yeah,
I felt bad because the first time I met Dave, I kind of like fanboyed on him, and he wasn't even at the level where people fanboyed yet. So it was just like very awkward. I was drunk at Brouhaha, and I was like, "Hey man, you're great. You're so great. You're so funny."
He's so chill.
And he was like, "Oh, all right,
nice.
Cool, dude. Thank you. I'm gonna go walk over there." But
that's a very good day.
I was able to like scale it back, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? We're peers." But now he's famous, so
yeah, and I think.
But Dave's really.
It's good to hang out with people who are like level-headed.
Yeah,
and he's got a like empathetic, side to him, and he just he cares about his friends and stuff like that.
Definitely.
But then it's like the shit that was driving me crazy online was like just seeing people who I barely know constantly posting just like, yes, I did just book a weekend in Florida and another weekend there, and there's a lot of people who are telling this Latina mommy she can like achieve. I was like, who's saying? What are you doing? Like, people just brag about like crazy achievements all the time and phrase it in this way of like, you never believed in me. I'm like, who are you talking to? You're. This is what makes people depressed by online
that
behavior.
Does make me depressed. Absolutely.
When I see other people just constantly like showing photos of their awards or just like, yes, I did just, any minor accomplishment that sometimes isn't even like fully like done, like the deal's not done. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, what level of like affection do you need?
It's totally insecurity
from
about
strangers.
Yeah.
I never post shit about things I'm doing. I sold out a show last night. I haven't posted shit about it.
Yeah, wow. I would have posted. I mean? Yeah.
It's like, be humble. Act like you've been there before.
Totally.
It's fucking like football rules, dude.
Yeah. Well, it's total like insecurity because I will like, I was on a show last night and I posted on like all platforms the post or whatever. That totally comes from the fact that it's the one show I'm booked on this month. You know what I mean? Like it's like I gotta tell everybody this is, You know, it's a scarcity mindset. Yeah.
On a show is fine. I mean, you definitely want people to come out to stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's just definitely
But it's more so a thing of like, hey, I'm booked tonight, gang. You know.
It's just crazy. It's always like a photo of them like at the beach, like just living like the best life, and I'm like, chill the fuck out.
I do love what you pointed out, like the imaginary person they're railing against. Like, all these people, all my life, I came out of the womb, my mom said, you're not going to be shit.
My mom's a hater, my dad's a hater. I was raised by a family of haters.
Loser and haters.
It's like, you know who talks about haters and losers is Trump.
Yeah.
It's like, it's lame.
Well, he is cool and good on TV and hot, and so I do emulate him. But other than that, overall, I agree with your point. I just think that's a bad example.
How many hotels do you own, Robbie? It's like, yeah, that level.
Trump does post like a comic. I've got, like, his posting style is like, he used to retweet compliments. He still does sometimes, which, like, comics do that too.
He's got great timing.
He does.
He, like, remember when that Baltimore senator, his like house got robbed?
Mm-hmm.
Like he
tweeted
like a whole thing like, oh gee whiz, this is a real shame to hear. Like, it's just like, fucking damn, dude. It was like right after that guy had like given a big speech, and then all he has to do is make one tweet that's just like, oh, where did your house get robbed?
Yeah, he's doing irony.
Maybe I'll call you a wambulance. Wham.
I think my favorite recent one was he was Christine Klobuchar or whatever dropped out, and he was like, they didn't know that she was the one I was most afraid of.
See? Awesome timing.
Incredible.
He says it like in the same way when a comic gets a news story. He has to think about a tweet, and then it comes out a little bit after. That is his timing.
Totally, absolutely.
I mean, he's got a heckler, roaster, you know.
Yeah, CNN.
Timing.
CNN, the ultimate heckler. What is the news if not a big heckler?
Don't listen to him, guys.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the fake Jews.
The fake Jews.
Listen to real ass Jews.
The real ass
Jews. Diesel Network.
Gas
Gas Digital.
Oh my God. I had to call in to do an impression of Shane Gillis on Tuesday because Lewis did this bit where he was like, so Shane's gonna go Hollywood, and he's abandoning his podcast, and Colin is like a super Hollywood version of Shane. And I did it, and the whole thing was like, yeah, dude, I got all these Jewish agents behind me helping me out and all this stuff. And then the clip was like taken down the next day, and I was like, oh, what happened? And Shane I hope I didn't hurt his feelings. And then today it's like, oh, he got SNL. Like he can't. No. It's like, I don't think he wants this extremely problematic clip up of him, of someone doing an impression of him, but you know, but I don't think he wants that he probably wants to scrub that associate. I don't know.
One time I did a thing for MTV that was like one of those things where they what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, I just want to say, Shane, I hope you're not mad at me. You're really funny, and I'm sorry. Please give me tickets. I'll just watch SNL. I'm not even going to send you my packet. I will, but I won't.
Shane, please introduce me to Lorne.
Yeah. The worst timing for me to potentially burn a bridge with somebody.
I do this thing now, actually, with friends where if it's a woman I'm talking to and she's like, I am seeing somebody in comedy, I always go, Lorne Michaels. I hear he's out there.
Every time I make the dumbest joke, I'm like, I'm sending this to Lorne. My new character, Stewie CK. I'm sending this. Lorne's going to love this.
Everybody's got a deuce.
Can the family fucking hear me?
What the deuce?
The New York Times article comes out. Damn you, vile woman.
Man, bring back Stewie trying to take over the world.
Yeah, we just talked about it the other day, but people say old Family Guy is good and new Family Guy is bad. No, old Family Guy was a lot worse. It was like,
about the
what
same.
The devil? Yeah. Oh, damn you, vile woman. That shit sucks.
It was good because you were 13. And the same way Viva La Bam was good. I mean, how dare you?
All right, let's not be rude to Bam Margera.
The same level of quality, and that is what TV production will make you realize. You're like, I guess this really isn't for me.
Yeah, it does rule when something holds up from when you were a kid. I just rewatched The Departed, and it was really good. I was like,
when you were a kid.
I was 15.
Oh, okay.
Like high school or whatever.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely good.
Yeah.
I mean, Scorsese, what's his bad movie?
What's his bad? Yeah, his worst movie is like Kundun, which is like, I don't know.
Oh shit, I don't think I've seen that.
It's just about like this little tiny guy he's like a kid who becomes an emperor or something. Interesting. But
it's a little fuck off story about some kid that becomes, I don't know, emperor.
Yeah. Some fucking story. It's just a true story or some bullshit. Fuck off, Marty.
Probably like the most amazing human.
Yeah. It's like people are crying near me. I'm like, well, he's a fucking kid. Who gives a shit?
Would you say his name was Cunt Dumb?
I've become condone.
CK.
That was a Weezer impression. I can't sing. If I could do musical impressions, I'd be on SNL right now. I'd be Melissa Villaseñor.
I've tried to audition for him, and it's hard.
Did you audition for SNL?
Just like sending in a video.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's tough, but
yeah, I mean, it's like
I've heard. I've never been asked to do anything.
it's worth it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It just seems like a lot of the rules are like, you can't have been really famous beforehand.
Yeah.
And it's like they seem to really, especially now, skew very young.
Super young.
Whereas, like, honestly, I think Phil Hartman was one of the best.
Phil Hartman fucking was great. Yeah.
And he was like, what? I don't know. He seems like closer to late 30s.
Will Ferrell, he was in his mid 30s when he got there, but he also Will Ferrell looked 45 and he played like all dad roles. He was so funny. His first role was like grilling, like get off the shed or whatever. But it's like, and he's the best SNL guy ever. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. So
now it's like you need to look like a teeny bopper. Exactly. Can you fuck Ariana Grande? It's like, yeah.
What a crazy sketch. I mean, they had like Stanley Tucci, and then they did like Tucci Man.
Yeah, Tucci Gang.
Tucci Gang, as a fucking Lil Pump reference. I was like, look, I'm not trying to say it's
bad.
I'm not trying to say it's ever actually been good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think people definitely do look at stuff when they were 13, 15, and it's good for a 13, 15-year-old. But like, there's a reason, it's not really anything to hold up. And if you're in stand-up and you're ever like, boy, I didn't get SNL, and like, I guess I'm never gonna get in this like top tier thing. I'm like, dude, just create your own shit because it's 1,000% more rewarding to go work under the thumb of somebody that you're hoping for their approval and stuff. It's just like if it doesn't work out for that naturally, and you usually see the kind of people who matriculate that way, same as in school. It is the like teacher, can I please like.
Yeah, people were just want to sell out their entire comedic persona to like get shit.
And
that's why it was cool that Shane got it, because he's so funny and did it his own way, and he was like, I don't give a fuck about SNL. I don't want to be famous like Pete Davidson. I'm gonna do my own thing and just be funny. And it was like, this is the first time in forever I've actually seen that thing we heard on podcasts growing up, like, if you're just funny, it'll all work out for you. This is the first guy I've seen that actually happen to since I've like been in it in like the last like 6 years or whatever, So it's nice to be happy for someone. Usually it's like, oh, cool, that new sociopath like carved out his persona for Hulu. All right, that makes complete sense. Congrats to John Belushi's granddad, grandkid.
His
granddad. I just started an improv troupe. I mean that is great. That's good to hear from you too. That like what's been rewarding for you is like Suicide Buddies and all that podcasting stuff. Because I have that same thought as like I might as well do my own thing, but I'm doing my own thing like this out of just that I don't think the industry fucking wants me. So it's like I kind of like need to. It's not a necessity.
It's like I don't like his shit per se, but if you do look at how say Joe Rogan has influenced what comedy's doing, it's like his show probably does better numbers than SNL.
Yeah. Well,
he made a podcast.
Yeah.
So I think we've really learned how irrelevant a lot of this shit is and how fleeting it is. There's a ton of people who go to SNL and they make something cool there, or they're very funny and they leave early or whatever. But like, it's not really going to like facilitate, I don't know, your creativity and keep you there as like a creative entity, and you get to be yourself along with them.
Yeah.
In tandem, they kind of need it to be SNL.
Yeah.
Consistently SNL.
It's Lauren's show. Yeah. You got to be in the Hamburgers sketch or whatever. Man, Pete took such an L that month when Ariana Grande broke up with him, and he had to be like, "Oh, hamburgers." Have you seen that sketch?
No.
Oh, it's really bad.
Is it bad?
It's Steve Harvey.
Did they goof?
It was like when they thought it was for like the 20th time when they thought Trump was just about to go to jail or whatever.
Beautiful.
And they were like, and it was Steve Harvey being like, "Deal or no deal, you can get a deal to not go to prison, Donald Trump." All the last 4 like seasons of SNL has ended with Trump being like, "I'm going to be impeached by the time we're back."
This liberal fantasy, which I fully identify as liberal, but this is like insane.
Yeah.
The constant commenting of like, can't wait for year 6 of Donald Trump behind solid gold
It's
bars.
a total
like,
fantasy.
Eating his turd sandwich. It's just like, what world do you live in?
What
that this guy will ever see a day in court?
Yeah.
Go be punished.
No.
Like, they're killing people in full public view.
Right.
All of the wealthy elites are murdering people right in front of your very eyes.
Yeah, the Epstein shit is like, there's this huge shadow people, and none of them are going to get... Epstein's out of the news. Completely out of the news.
You see the news. Typical. Another billionaire going to jail forever.
Yeah,
Got the electric chair. Yeah, typical.
Typical.
Another billionaire going into fuck me in the ass prison.
Yeah.
Going up to Rikers with all his billionaire gang members.
Yeah. Well, because people think that justice is like bringing down people on Twitter, like getting mad at them or whatever. But it's like the people who are really doing shit aren't famous, and you don't even know their name. But whatever.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like it's like the real targets of like if you really want the world to change. Yeah. I mean, good luck.
I think even though I think they're getting also very brazen at times, where it's like even in full public view, like the wealthy elites will just get away with crimes.
Yeah.
Like it's
you don't
really
even need to be that elite.
It's really
you can be OJ.
This isn't even a conspiracy. This is just the way of the world.
Yeah, you can buy justice like almost always. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean that girl. I mean Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's like right-hand woman or whatever. She's just like at large. That's it. It's over. It's done. She also molested people, by the way, like on the record for allegations.
Didn't something just happen where like the Miami Beach detective investigating it just is dead now?
What? I didn't hear about that.
Like the detective who's like investigating.
Sounds like business as usual. I'm not going to look into that at all. But sounds normal. Sounds very normal.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I don't know. But so that's the thing. Is like Trump. He'll be president. Have a TV show again.
Yeah.
I really fully believe he'll come back to TV because he
think
loves it.
He does.
He's a full TV addict. He thinks it is like
I think he's gonna outlive us.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. He'll definitely live to a ripe old age.
But the liberal fantasy, because I remember, I think a big low point of SNL, and especially now looking back, is when they did "All I Want for Christmas Is You," but they sang it to Robert Mueller, and it's like, oh, you got the gift. Do you like it? Do you like the gift that you wanted?
Yikes.
What do you think about that, 80 Bryant?
I don't know. It's funny because I think it's maybe like a calculated move on the fact that there was a ton of blowback by the fact that they had
Trump on. Yeah.
And that was that around the Access Hollywood tape time?
No, it was when he first was running. It was like 4 months. They shouldn't have had him on.
I think it was after the Mexicans are rapists.
Yes, it was.
Over their rapists.
Well, there was enough of a controversy they had to make Larry David go, Trump's a racist on the air or whatever. And they're like, all right, it's done. We're done.
Yes, I mean, it's like it's been a long walk back, I feel, of another thing is people speculate that people I've heard kind of inside of the whole SNL thing is like Lauren thought he was going to get some sort of like job inside of the White House.
Whoa. What?
Him and Trump were very close.
Whoa.
And, that's why, I mean, Trump's like on the fucking... Lauren's close with Giuliani.
What would he even do? What would Lauren do?
I think he was like...
Secretary of Comedy?
He gives a shit about SNL. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
If anything, he'd come in and he's been a successful businessman of like a top-rated show.
Right.
He's like a successful businessman. In the same way, you don't really... The minute you scrutinize what kind of businessman Trump is, you're like, oh, he's like a flim-flam, real estate, casino, a child beauty pageant. like a billion. Oh, it's like total everything's suspect. But I mean... I think if you just, same with Reagan, you can make a pitch where you're like, Lorne Michaels is a very, astute businessman, and we want him to be like, I don't know.
Well, they do bring in people like entertainment. They bring in comedy writers sometimes to like help out with like likability and write zingers and shit like that. So, or maybe Lauren just wanted to transition full into Dr. Evil, and that would help.
I wish people could just write. The funny thing is, I think Andrew Yang's actually gotten better.
Yeah.
At first, when I saw him talking, I noticed he had a real trouble, public speaking.
Yeah.
He was good enough, better than the average person. But just when you're playing in this level where you know that the end game is Trump, if you ever had to talk,
right.
But then I was thinking of I've just seen comics write like Bernie and stuff and be like, can you hire me to just say mean shit to you, like practice. I want to put you in like
that would be such a good job,
dude.
Oh
like
my
the
god,
Matrix dojo.
Yeah,
learn how to deal with like 1,000 fucking insults.
Yeah,
Trump's gonna be like Andrew Yang. He's got Down syndrome eyes.
Yeah,
like,
who is this guy? He looks like he needs to go back to IT. Are you a Yang guy?
I think he's cool.
I love Yang. I think he's really likable.
I know he's not going to win, but I think a big thing that I do like about him, and I keep saying this, is he really does give like the most non-sociopathic answers.
I saw you tweeted that, and I completely agree.
He talks like just exactly. I don't want to say like exactly like a real American or anything. It's really like somebody who seems like he's genuinely thinking about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He has a vested interest. He's not trying to lie to you like some crazy person. Oftentimes when he talks about the $1,000 a month thing, he'll go, I don't know if this works, but this is my idea. I'm offering a solution, and if we really crunch the numbers and this doesn't work out, I'm not gonna like force this to happen like a wall or something. I'm like trying to help.
Yeah.
So if there's some way I can help out people who are like starving in America, I mean, it's like, so that's a big thing. And then I'd say everyone else seems to have, this is where a little bit of sociopathic behavior comes out, is they all have these kind of political rivalries.
Right.
And it's like watching Joe Biden trying to like verbally spar with people and like,
so that, Joe is making me cringe. It's like making me cringe.
Senator, in 1970, you said, should black people exist? Well, I say, sir, you are not a real American.
It's also coached too.
And Kamala Harris is like a cop.
Yeah.
Bernie is fine on policy, but I will say he's just an odd guy.
Yeah.
Like I think when he answers, it is a little sociopathic.
He's a little.
He's just a disconnect.
He doesn't have throwing stones on my part, but he just doesn't have the likability thing. Like he kind of is very aggressive and abrasive with a lot of what he's saying.
And I know that's like he's getting thrown that at him a lot, but I did see footage of him like from fucking 1970s or something.
Yeah.
And he looks maybe only 5 years old.
Yeah.
He's been old his entire life.
And he's like, Stalin is amazing. I love him.
And he's like talking to like 5, 6, 7-year-olds,
right?
Like little children.
Yeah.
And the way he's talking to them is sociopathic.
He's just yelling at them.
It is like, so what do you think should change inside of the public education system?
I'm like, the kid's like, I like colors and Sesame Street.
It's like, okay, we're not going to have any more foolishness like that, and you will answer my question.
Like, he keeps, like, trying to, like, rein them in. And it's, like, somebody who's, like, doesn't know how to handle children.
Right.
And I had to look into it. I was like, does he have kids? Does he? And he does.
Does he? Oh, okay. He just yells at the kindergartners, grow up! Grow up, you immature brat!
We should have crayons that express every color.
Lunch is for children. We are children.
2% of the milk is drinkable.
When is nap time? That does sound very nice.
It was weird, and there's just this history of like the way he talks to people is a little curt.
Mm-hmm. Kurt Metzger?
Kurt Metzger. Famous child rapist Kurt Metzger. I don't know. So, I mean, it's not like I'm against him. And, of course, I do say that dumb liberal thing of, like, I will vote for anybody.
Me too. I voted for Hillary, dude, and I did not really care about her.
Yeah, of course. Like, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
But it is like when they're on that debate stage, they really don't come off that.
I watched that first debate. I was so depressed. It was depressing. I was like, Trump's gonna win. I mean, this is a bad crop, and it always like, if I have to hear, like, JP brought this up when he was on the show, but it was like so many fucking anecdotes. Every single, like, what do you think about blank? What Andrew Yang will give it straight. Everyone else is like, I talked to a woman in Ohio. She had 3 dogs, and she told me, she looked me right in the eye, and she said, Elizabeth Warren, I want you to instill a capital gains tax.
Then the dog said it. So there was a confirmation bias there with the dogs.
It was not a scientific polling, but Joe Biden wants to take your dogs away.
I was in Little Rock, Arkansas, when a young boy said to me, Senator, I am from the future, and we have to end Skynet now. What are you doing about Skynet and capital gains tax?
Yeah, and that's like... And also, it's just like, there's so many, there's attacks, grievances.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't that person. He doesn't exist. You made it up. Wow, you're a liar.
Yeah.
Exactly. It makes you look like a sociopath. I thought a good answer Andrew Yang gave about something, like he just started talking about his own family off of someone talking about their own family member.
Yeah.
And like, so that is a story where he's mentioning, an anecdotal sort of thing, but you that happened directly to him.
Totally.
He's not just being like, my son was in New York City, and he said to me, "And Daddy, when will you fuck mommy right?" And I say to you, son, when will you grow pubic hair?
Vote for me.
Vote for me. In your face. Burn.
Harvey 2020.
Weinstein 2020.
But yeah,
Epstein Weinstein 2020.
I think Yang's skill is like he's not a soundbite guy. He's on New York Times podcast that he gave great, thoughtful answers.
So this is something tying it in with the Joe Rogan thing I was mentioning before, where it's like people really do need to know their own worth and stuff like that. And it's like I fully believe there could be a president who wins just off of like podcasting.
Yeah.
Like if you can reach
It's coming.
If you can reach like 10, 20 million people at a given time and express your message without the whole like we saw those debates and they are like interrupting, loud. There's no clear message coming out, and it's like we got to go to a commercial break. I'm like, no, you fucking don't.
Yeah.
Guess what? You don't have to leave for anything. This could be 5 hours.
Yeah.
How about there's bathroom breaks? How about we get to the bottom of how every one of these people thinks about every one of these problems and things?
Yeah. Why are they profiting off debates?
It's just
that's
a
crazy.
ridiculous way to run a democracy.
Yeah.
Where that's the public forum, that's the debate. So it will come a time that somebody's just like, here's my message. Whatever.
Right.
If Trump can win, we have to say that some sort of outsider business man can just be a magnetic person for people. Like, people will go along with it.
Right.
Like, you can only make fun of Trump's businesses for so long to where you're like, well, he's in the race, so fuck it,
And it sucks that Trump only got elected because he's good on TV, and these guys are just training to be good on TV, and that's it.
And Andrew Yang's getting funnier.
Yeah.
He's getting more savvy at social media.
Yeah. His Twitter is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's a real thing where he might not get it this time, but I think, like, say a good retreat would be that he then makes a podcast.
Yeah.
That's just him talking about policy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, same as that dumb, like, what's that, Pod Save America?
Pod Save America. Yeah.
I guess they just talk about
welcome to Pod Save America. So why is Donald Trump a fucking fuckhead dumpster fire this week, John? Well, you see, Russia sucks. I agree with that. Hillary Clinton did nothing wrong.
One, her name is Hillary, so right there, huge red flag.
You had my favorite post-election tweet, which was, "Did they do it? Did Pod Save America?"
Yikes. And I feel really like, this next election's kind of a gimme. Like, I think Trump will win because
I think so too.
we're like going to the slaughterhouse with Biden.
Right.
We all know they're going to pick Biden. And they're going to do, and that's wild too, because they won't even do Elizabeth Warren.
No.
You're like, why are they forcing this to happen? And they still believe that old people's vote is the
vote.
The vote.
Right.
Because it's safe on like a lot of policies just staying the same. Like, old people really don't want like some sort of dramatic change.
That's a good point. Yeah. Biden 2020, it's familiar. That's like that is his whole campaign. It's familiar. It'll be comfy. Remember Obama?
My one focus will be giving Donald Trump the old 1 and 2 Jack Johnson to the face, the old socceroo to the old noggin. Give him a goose egg.
Biden's Mandelbaum from Seinfeld.
He talks about like he's gonna like tickle him or something. Donald Trump will put me in a noogie, but then I will give him a pink belly. I promise you.
I'll tell you, if he challenges me to hopscotch, I'll tell you, I'll scotch his behind. I'll tell you that right.
I'm not senile. Don't look into my past. It's so nuts, man.
Yeah, if you watch Biden clips, speaking of which, like if you watch old Biden clips, he's clearly more there than now. I mean, you watch his debates, he just can't. He doesn't have that gusto. Trump has it. That is the thing Trump has, is that like, fuck you. He seems coherent when he's on stage.
He knows how to bully people.
Yeah, and Biden's like, he goes up there, he's like, you just said a mean thing about me, mister, and I'll on Tuesday, 2 days from Tuesday, I'll tell you this. No, I'll say no, sir, I don't like it.
Yeah, he's like the kind of parent who's like, I tell you, a bully is more scared of you than you are of them.
Yes.
Like they're a snake or something.
Yeah,
no, you idiot.
No.
Bullies are not
Bullies
more
are not scared of
you.
me.
They are bullies because they are stronger than you, and they are dumber than you, and they hate quicker than
Maybe
you.
they're scared of their dad, but they're not scared of me.
Yeah, they're not.
They're probably not even scared of you, Dad. Dad, Joe Biden, I think this bully will beat you up.
Like Biden goes to prison. Okay, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to go up to the biggest, scariest guy in the yard and kick his ass. You will be murdered.
Yeah.
You'll be murdered day one.
Biden's getting like anally raped. Well, wait till the guards hear about this, mister.
I'm going to take Trump by the collar and give him what for?
He won't he's not going to like my bucket of syrup.
What are you doing about college tuitions? You know how that's like basically forced an entire generation into bankruptcy? Oh, and how it's this type of debt that never leaves you.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give Trump's college plan the old 1-2. the old skip 'em a do. I can't do it better than you. That's a great bit,
I'm
man.
gonna give
so
healthcare
funny.
a knick-knack paddywhack. Give me a doctor for my bones.
Where am I?
Where am I?
So you're in the middle of the debates. You've gone well over your time. Okay, thank you. I'll be quiet.
I once saw a duck in Illinois, and it asked me, Senator, when will you give me breadcrumbs?
Kamala's like, you punched me when I was a child.
That's hysterical. You put me on that bus.
You
sir.
put me on that bus. You arrested me.
You were driving the bus,
Yeah,
sir.
I think you might have molested me.
That's the other thing. It's like she's got so many zingers that are so planned where it is like, and sir, might I add, you were the one driving that bus. Like, it's just like, okay, man, like, what is this, petty rivalry time? Like, is this really how you're going to define your campaign is going, we're all shitty, but I'm less shitty than that shithead. So, you know, it's like, dude, have a vision. Have something that you're offering people because
it reminds me
really fucking
her
upset.
debate style. It reminds me a lot of when a comic has planned crowd work. Like, oh, what's your name? Jeff. Oh yeah, you look like a Jeff. Everyone look at Jeff over here. Oh, what kind of shirt is that? Billabong. Billabong. That's what it felt like. So the first debate, it was amazing, but then if you go see him again at the second debate, you completely floundered.
So fucking funny.
Yeah. We'll go over a few trending topics, and then I'll let you go here. Thank you. You've been very generous with your time thus far.
Thanks for having me.
Daniel Johnston died. Do you think it'll be all awkward when he finally meets the devil?
Where's Kurt Cobain?
Where's Kurt? I
Where's
love that
Kurt?
guy. He's just retarded.
Yeah, I don't really know how he talks. He
Me
was
neither.
like, I woke
I know his
up
shirt.
at a funeral.
Oh, yeah.
There was a girl there that I was sexually assaulted. Like, all his songs are about stalking.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's incapable of real
Well, he's very mentally
human
ill.
love.
He had like manic depressive disorder and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's also like, I'd say like a schizophrenia.
Oh, actually, this is good. Aaron Carter just opened up about his battle with schizophrenia and manic depression. I mean, I guess the warning signs were there from that huge fantasy he concocted about beating Shaq.
Dude, that's one of my credits. He did it right. I wrote Upload with Shaquille O'Neal.
Did you? Did you work with Shaq?
I never got to meet Shaq.
So that's how I meet Shaq.
But my big bit was I wrote a whole Aaron Carter like catching up with Shaq.
Oh, that's so funny.
We got Aaron Carter, and the whole bit was like, you know, Aaron Carter is like Shaq's almost like looking back on his career. He's like, you know, my one biggest regret was losing a basketball match to Aaron
That's
Carter.
so funny.
So I called up Aaron Carter, and like we get like 30-year-old Aaron Carter, and it's all like, you know, what are you doing this for? A jet ski? He's like, no, a sandwich. You know, like we did. He let us do like every joke, and it was just Shaq just like laying him down on the court, and just like bricking ball down in his face for like repeated shots of that.
Aaron, he literally beats him up. Aaron Carter's bloody. That's great.
That was kind of funny. That was the only one that we wrote. We all like day one.
Yeah.
We all, you know, we're like, hey, what are we gonna write for this Shaquille O'Neal sketch show?
Right.
And then every other thing was like a complete nightmare because it would go through like 3 levels of execs and producers, like kind of relaying this information.
Sure.
So like one bit, he did the show, the Upload with Shaquille O'Neal with this comic Gary Owen.
I know Gary Owen, yeah.
Yeah, he would like won like funniest white guy in a black neighborhood once.
Yeah.
Like,
you win best token on a show at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah, exactly. The most mediocre stand-up comedy I've ever seen. And so like, you know, he's like the other guy. And then we'd pitch one joke that we pitched was basically like, you guys are doing like Pulp Fiction, and Shaq is John Travolta and Gary Owen's like Samuel Jackson.
Funny. Yeah.
And then like Shaq like day of apparently like shut down, you know, shooting. He's like, wait, whoa. I've seen Pulp Fiction, and the black guy has the afro and the other guy has like the long hair. And we're like, yeah, no, that's like the bit. He's like, no, the black guy has the afro. Like he just like started to explain like that he didn't get it, but he'd be like you guys haven't seen Pulp Fiction. Like that was his.
He's like, I'm the smart guy here. I'm fact checking. Right.
And then no one really wanted to correct him, and he's like, so I'll just do that. So then they shot the sketch the same way we wrote it, but like the jokes don't make any.
They don't make any that.
Yeah,
the entire joke is wrong. Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like when they do a body switching Seinfeld, and it's like Jerry acting like Kramer and correcting Jimmy, and Jerry's like, wait. But I'm usually Jerry.
Yeah, I love that. He's just like, oh, you guys haven't seen Pulp Fiction.
That's
like,
yeah,
so we wrote
funny.
A fucking Pulp Fiction bit.
This
dude.
is
we
the
get
joke.
It.
Yeah. That's so funny. Oh, Shaq. I just feel bad for him because that's one where it's just like, oh man, you sweet innocent man.
I have a good other one about Shaq, which is third party, where I met this guy who was like, he was like a dean at the time of like some writing college, like in LA, like where they teach you how to write scripts and stuff like that. Right. And like, you know, at one point when he was teaching, he got a call that was like, Shaq wants to learn how to write movies. It's like, oh my God, of course. Like, we'll set up this special meetings, you know? And Shaq just wanted to do like one day, you know, or like he thought he could learn how to write a movie in like a day. And he showed up and like, you know, he like went over how you write a movie, how much, you know, like how writing a script goes. And then Shaq like comes in the next day and he's like, okay, I don't want to write movies. I want to direct movies because I like see this stuff in my head, but I don't want to like write it all. And that guy, that's similar to this guy's job. And he's like, okay, so here's like what directing would entail. And then the next day, like, Shaq showed up. He's like, okay, I don't want to direct. I want to, like, produce. I want to produce movies. And he's like, okay, producing, totally valid. Like, here's what producing would be. And then Shaq came in the next day. He's like, okay, I basically just want to have things made with my name on it.
And that's how we got Uncle Drew.
I love that he just like kept coming back and be like, okay,
wait a minute.
I've got it now. I think it's this.
Yeah, that's like a SpongeBob gag, like 3 days later.
And he was like, he asked him, he's like, what's your favorite movies when they first started? And Shaq was like,
what is a movie?
Number one movie, Spawn.
Spawn?
Spawn's his favorite movie.
Oh, hell yes, dude.
And it was like Batman, Superman. I think like just whatever superhero, like he just listed superhero movies. That was it. That's all he likes.
Well, Shaq is kind of a superhero to me.
Well, he's like, yeah, exactly. He's like, I'm Superman. Like,
everyone
calls me Superman.
Right.
And like, if you didn't like know that, he treats you dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, he's a dumb guy who's like, I'm the smart one.
Oh yeah, he's constantly being told how smart he is and how great he is.
That's so funny.
That you adopt that ego of like, clearly I'm like a genius.
Yeah. Because I do things where things are tiny and I'm big, and that's very funny.
That was every bit we wrote was that he's too big for something and would break it with his body.
Every Shaq comedy thing has been he's in a tiny thing or in around tiny objects.
That was dope.
That's so good.
Was so fun.
Yeah, I don't know. That's funny that you said that because similarly, I wrote for SNL for one day and I pitched Aaron Carter, the party starter, and now I'm banned from 30 Rock.
I reached out to Aaron. What's his name?
Aaron Carter.
The comic though. That's his name.
Oh,
right?
Darren Carter.
Darren Carter. I don't know. I got confused. Well, now this doesn't make sense, but I tweeted. I was like, "Is there ever been a party that Darren Carter couldn't start?" And he wrote back and he was like, "Hey man, glad you're a fan."
Oh my God.
I was like, "Hey man," like I just like, "Hey, what's up?" You know.
What does he do? Because he's huge.
I don't know.
He's always headlining Flappers, which I assume is huge. That's what I want to get.
I think he does all right, but yeah.
He gets Flappy Hour going.
I think we both, respect that we're in two different worlds.
Yeah. T. Boone Pickens died. He was a billionaire. I think this has got to be a hillbilly.
Texas millionaire?
Yeah.
A billionaire? What's his deal?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of T. Boone Pickens that have a lot of money. I think this is the right one, though. And I think he's a hillbilly that struck oil.
No way.
No. He's an oil tycoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I kind of was like, he just sounds like somebody out of Texas who'd be like, I'm a Texas oil type.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Thing.
But it's funny to imagine him with the pickaxe and the oil coming out like, honey, they're going to know the name T-Bone Pickens. T-Bone Pickens. But yeah, I'm crying.
I know there's $1 billion in the side of that mountain. Sure enough, there's chili in my boot.
Pack my bags for California. It's just shit coming out. He just hit his outhouse.
So he's dead?
Yeah, he just died.
So this is a third billionaire.
Yeah.
Inside of when Koch died and Epstein,
I
tweeted a photo of Rorschach from Watchmen where I was like, 3 billionaires dead. 2 billionaires dead inside of a month. Like, what are the odds? Like, follow the money or whatever. But I mean, it's like, you're telling me a third billionaire has died inside of a half year?
I didn't even think about that.
That's weird.
That is very odd.
How many billionaires are there? There can't be more than like
billionaires whose names we know. Not a lot. Yeah, I know Dr. Dre. If Dr. Dre dies, it's gonna be fishy.
Dr. Dre.
If Jay-Z dies, we gotta look. If Oprah, Jay-Z, Tiger. I only know the black ones.
Let's start with all the people who are barely a billionaire.
Do you know why? Because I think when a black guy becomes a billionaire, I'm like, that's awesome. That's the only time I think that.
I think that all. Well done.
If like a white man, because I never am like, oh my god, how inspiring that the CEO of WeWork is a billionaire now.
Yeah, you'll never be like, oh, Jay-Z's a billionaire. Yeah, his dad.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Z.
Mr. Z. Greetings, I'm Mr. Z.
I'm Mr. Z.
Welcome to my island of sex.
Cheer, Dad, I'm gonna show you. I don't know, Jay-Z impression. Why not?
Sheboygan.
It's your boy.
Sheboygan.
Favorite
part of the United States.
Oh, there was a Slate headline that was, "We forgot the lessons of 9/11. Osama bin Laden would have loved Trump." I don't know if that's true.
Would have loved
Bin Laden would be like, I love this fat American who loves Israel and gives them a bunch of money. I love Donald Trump. You know what? We're calling off 9/11.
I gotta tell you, I usually hate the West, but this Donald Trump guy,
this fat, unfair rich guy who loves TV and is very dumb. I don't know why he's not Indian.
He tries to ban Muslims
Saudi.
from the country. Yeah, that's a real awesome clickbaity article.
Yeah,
where you've done zero research and you start with the title.
In the
that's
Slate,
how you wrote your story.
Got an idea, boss. What about this?
I just read Lord of the Rings, and guess what? It sucks. Yeah, it's like, how easy is it to write that headline? I just watched Back to the Future. Guess what? It's misogynistic and awful. And it's like, then you're gonna be like, well, what the fuck do you think?
I want to write I just watched the 9/11 tapes. What are we all whining about? Not that bad. It could have been worse.
I wish I could get into clickbait writing.
I don't. I think that your soul's got to die. And those guys, they don't even get paid that much. It's not like a lucrative gig. That's why they're all so bitter still.
Yeah, and now I kind of wonder where they'll go from next.
Yeah.
If you don't read this article in 5 seconds, your mom's going to get pussy cancer. Like, they have to up the stakes where it's like, everyone who doesn't read this article is basically contributing to racism or like murder or something. Like you're a bad person for not reading this.
5 facts about Daniel Radcliffe that if you don't read, we will arrest you. We will literally call the police on you if you don't read these facts about Daniel Radcliffe. 1, he's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Great guy. Fun to work with. Great on set.
Always a delight.
Kind of a prankster.
Hi, this is Daniel Radcliffe, and I'm here with Jackass.
Yeah.
I just shoved a broomstick off Don Vito's up his bummer.
All right, yeah, so we're going to make Harry Potter fuck a horse.
You're a sex addict, Harry.
You're a sex addict, Harry McLean. There's a Miss Monopoly now instead of the Monopoly guy. Finally, a cartoonish embodiment of dumb wealth can be played by a fucking lady.
She should have a little, mustache on her pussy. Little monocle.
Do not press go. If you pass go, I am leaving. I am leaving this relationship, Top Hat.
Wow. This really feels like that kind of like... So this can't be feminism, right? Because like Gloria Steinem would be like, please shut the fuck up.
This is cartoonish capitalist like pandering.
It's like in Legally Blonde where like someone was like, excuse me, why don't we call it herstory?
Yeah,
like, it's like, is that an opinion?
Yeah, well that
or is that like a writer?
That's like if that
insane?
quote unquote opinion was made to sell a product in like a last, how do we get girls to play board games again?
That's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you make the argument that women couldn't identify
with the Monopoly guy?
Well, I'm like, did I identify with the thimble?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The race car?
I identified with the cop
I don't
who was
think there
blowing
was
his
any
whistle.
sexuality.
Yeah.
I think it's actually very true to power because it's like it's this white guy who's, you know, he can like get out of jail free.
Right. Well, he has the power to get his friends out of jail.
He raises the community chest.
He has all the money and everyone wants it.
Yeah, they're calling it calling it like it is.
Yeah. So it's just nice that girls now can watch Ace Ventura 2 and he goes, "You look like the Monopoly guy," and they could be like, "Well, me now too. I could be that. I could be called that by Jim
Imagine writing
Carrey."
the script where you're just like, guy shows up, looks like the Monopoly guy. Jim Carrey says, "Hey, it's the Monopoly guy."
You know what's funny?
Audience at home shits their pants laughing.
When I was a kid, I thought that was the funniest joke in the world.
It was all right.
I remember that joke from when I was a kid. I think and it foresaw my future as a roast battler.
I think it's on the same level of that part of me. Do you have any Grey Poupon joke in Wayne's World?
Yeah,
where it's like, you know, a little bit of its time,
right?
Definitely, and but then like that joke's not very good.
No,
and that joke's a little like, hey, we're rich people, fuck off. And I was like, okay, whatever. As a kid, it's hysterical.
Yeah.
But it's like, as an adult, I'm like, what were the fucking mental gymnastics to get to that joke?
Right, yeah.
Jesus.
We have to put him in a setting of a fancy party.
Guys, it has absolutely zero to do with the plot. Zero to do with the
it was before he goes to nature, because nature was calling.
Which is totally fair. Like, a lot of comedy definitely, like, cuts away and shit. But I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Imagine Family Guy doing that.
You're
the Monopoly
You're the fucking Monopoly guy.
Bye.
Bye. All right, goodbye.
Goodbye. That guy looks like Boba Fett. That guy over there who looks like Boba Fett.
Oh, it is Boba Fett. Hey, Boba. See, that would actually make more sense in Family Guy. In a film, it doesn't quite make quite a lot of. In a non-cartoon film, I don't know if it makes a lot of sense.
Well, if you're gonna put me in court of comedy, Robbie, I'll agree with you.
Guilty of fucking making me laugh. All right, one last one. I don't mean to do a lot of these, but Chelsea Handler just announced my new documentary premieres on Netflix in 2 days. It's called Hello Privilege. It's me, Chelsea. It's about me, Chelsea, exploring white privilege. And yes, everyone should watch it, especially you, Mr. President. And
yeah,
I love. First of all, I love when people call him Mr. President. That's like the funniest shit to me.
Hey Donnie, I got news for you.
And
watch my special.
I don't want to goof on the idea of it, but I really hope that it does, because it's about her privilege and all that stuff. I really hope that it covers her dinner party with Jeffrey Epstein.
Did she?
Yes.
Oh, wild.
Yeah. She had a party with him like a few years ago.
I mean, yeah, that sounds awful for one.
Yeah.
And I really don't understand.
What if Trump does watch it? Okay, she's recommending it. Sounds like a hoot.
Fucking funny, dude.
Yeah.
That's vanity.
Yeah.
Like, as much as, like, he's vain, this is insane.
That is
like,
insane.
Hey, Mr. President, I hope your eyes are wide open and ears are open for my
to
special.
watch my movie about my documentary, famous documentary subject, Chelsea Handler. Why am I watching a Chelsea Handler documentary? There's so many good documentaries about, like, real things and people of interest.
Wakey, wakey, Kim Jong-un. I've got a new comedy special that you can't watch. Like, you're going to have to download my new streaming app, King Boo-hoo.
Hey, Assad, I'm going to gas your eyes with my new behind-the-scenes tour doc about how I'm rude to waiters, and they tell me.
Got him. Targeted, scoped.
Yeah.
Got him. I mean, it's weird. It's been a weird ride for her.
Yeah. I mean, I just look at her career and I think, you got to be kidding me.
Can you believe it?
Wow, you should picture that.
Yeah, all right.
Don't burn that on me.
Cold turkey, and she goes to Turkey.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, I got Egypt.
Yeah.
At the market.
My Korea is doing good. I have a really nice career.
South Africa.
Apartheid, how are you doing?
Apartheid and Gasik.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I love to meet my Fanada. My fan.
Oh, no, it's good. She's finally moved out of Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Out of Africa.
Out of
Africa. The special that gets her out of Africa,
right.
of course. Out of Africa.
That would be good. Who are these I don't know. Who are these Chinese people? Afghanistan. There we go.
My Chinese, and it's all about her having a Chinese niece. My Chinese.
Hello, Chinese people. It's me, Chelsea, and it's about her discovering that Chinese people exist.
She's gonna really bring the country together. I think it really is all depending on someone, just their stance on race politics is like, I fucked a lot of black guys.
Yeah.
That's her entire thing. It's just like.
I love big black dick.
Other than that, like, you're a millionaire who's completely out of touch and like flies in a private jet everywhere.
Her whole persona is like out of touch wine mom, which just lean into that.
Oh, did you fly around the fucking world in your private jet to tell everybody about white privilege?
Yeah.
I bet it comes up, but also like. Stop.
Yeah.
Do
you think when the cameras were over and it was like, woo, thank God, no more poor people telling me what I am. All right, back to this. Hope Trump watches it. Like, it does feel like the ultimate,
I hope Trump watches it. It's very much like the
unless Trump is in it, he's not going to watch it. Unless it's about him, he's not going to watch it.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's almost like the Kathy Griffin thing, but the funny thing is, like, Trump did react to Kathy Griffin, so it's like
that's true.
You know what? We live in wild times where the president's like, Kathy Griffin is like a horrible person, and let's send death threats.
That's so weird
to her and shit.
Yeah, he just went after Chrissy Teigen. That's so weird.
That was fucking crazy. Nuts. He hates women. Like, it's so fucking transparent. Like, nothing fucking bothers him more than some, like, woman telling him
running her mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, foul-mouthed wife. It's so funny. He's like, he has the most foul fucking mouth, and he's like, you have nasty words, and I don't like them.
You're nasty. Why aren't you saying nice things and getting me dinner?
Yeah, why aren't you? Where's my sandwich? Yes, he does love sandwiches, to his credit. And we have to give him credit.
I was thinking, well, what?
Oh, no, that's it.
Well, I was like the article. The funny thing is, like, Trump is so transparently bad that it's so funny when there's like hyperbolic, like clickbait articles that are just, again, continuing the narrative of like, he's an insane Hitler. But it's like, they're reaching all the time where it's like, I saw this thing that was just like Trump's eating habits.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, apparently the commander-in-chief doesn't think much about the most important meal of the day. I'm like, oh, did he skip breakfast like Hitler? There's another guy who skipped breakfast, Goebbels.
Yeah, you read that stuff.
Like,
CNN had one. Yeah, CNN had one was like, Trump orders 3 scoops and everyone else only gets 2.
Yeah.
And it's like, is my life better for knowing that?
Does
that make me more informed?
Do you think that's what's happening? Or do you think Trump asks for 3, everyone is served 2, and it's the White House and anyone can ask for a 3rd scoop of ice cream because it's not an insane narrative?
It's not a power move. He's just fat.
Like, it's just like insane shit. Like, it's like, they did the Christmas decorations for the White House, and it like was very red, and like, see, it's like The Handmaid's Tale. I'm like literally, it's just like you're just reaching. Just talk about the things he's doing on a daily basis that are crimes and bad things.
Yes.
Like, just what does it matter? He had more ice cream than some fictional person I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
that's such a thing I can't stand. It's like, what he's doing is bad enough. Just report on that accurately, and that will do your job for you.
And here's the important thing: continue talking about it.
Yeah.
Because the minute you do slip into this bullshit, suddenly that story's just as important as the other things.
Yeah.
Suddenly him having 3 scoops of ice cream is as important as some sort of crime he's doing.
That thing, it all just becomes noise. And that's why he's so lucky to be in this current environment where it's like, okay, I guess the ice cream's just as bad as,
he knows. That's why he tweets as much. That's why he calls out Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah.
That's why he calls out fucking celebs.
Well, yeah.
Because it's a nice distraction.
The racist stuff, it fires up his base and everyone else forgets about it. It's like, it's perfect. It's like stoking a fire. It's very politically advantageous to him. Like, I get why he does it. It sucks, but it's also because of a climate that the media itself created. And that's the thing, is they can't take fucking criticism. They can't adjust at all. And that's like,
yeah.
We're fucked. But until Andrew Yang surges goes sicko mode at the debate tonight, surges in the polls. Yang Gang starts killing people.
Is there a debate tonight?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I haven't had internet in a little bit. So,
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'm gonna miss it for a show.
No. Oh, what show are you on tonight? Oh yeah.
I have to look it up what it's called, but it's put on by Anya Vols.
Oh, I know her. It's Thirst Trap, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's awesome, so I can't wait.
Yeah, Anya. I called her Anya Volts.
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 I sometimes do try and say names a little bit quicker when I'm not sure.
Yeah.
1,000%, but I think I got it.
I love the move when you forget someone's name. Oh, have you met my friend? Please introduce yourself. Please introduce yourself.
Please just say it.
Yeah, I call her Anya Volts because her set's electricity.
Dude, 9/11 was yesterday. Save it.
I do love bombing. And
those were controlled missile strikes.
That's true. Yeah.
Don't disrespect our greatest president.
I can't wait for all of my friends to call in sick tomorrow. It's gonna be a great day. We're all gonna play, hang out. All right, man. I think that about does it. You have anything to plug?
Sure. Check out my podcast. If you are into like comedy, for sure. Dave Ross, for sure. If you're into mental health, that's maybe where our hook is. We talk about typically a suicide in history, like once a week. If not, we talk about something kind of like just going on in the news about mental health, and we really try and just like have fun with it. So it's called Suicide Buddies.
Yeah,
and check it out.
But it's also very funny. Like I listen to it. You guys do a lot. You do a lot of riffing. You know,
we basically try to keep it two friends,
right,
having fun, checking up with each other.
Yeah.
And then we're kind of like forcing ourselves to have
a theme,
you know what I mean? But it's great, and we really enjoy doing it.
Oh, yeah. One quick question. When you do stand-up, like, what is your ratio of riffing to, like, material? Because you're a great riffer.
Shut it fuck up.
I call you Peter Riffin.
So you just go up there and make it all up?
No. I'm actually curious because you are a good off-the-cuff guy. Like, you're really good at that.
Dude, I've been hoping to get cuffs this year.
It's cuffing season.
My wife's been cuffing me.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. I don't know. Last night was really fun. And that's a big reason I'm trying to, like, get into this mode of, like, you know, Stanhope is definitely a huge influence.
I love
like,
Stanhope,
someone who worked to create an audience and is fully on, like, I'm not going to go try to get an audience outside of this. I'm trying to expand my audience.
Right.
And I've worked all this time to get an audience. And I know, like, you know, comedy should be for everybody as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But like the show last night, it's this exact thing. Like me and Dave are really excited about it. Is the way we do the show is we go up, we do like 5 minutes riff it, you know, talk to the crowd. Then we bring up a comic who's a friend, and then like him or I, like we'll flip a coin or just whatever we're feeling. You know, either one can headline or do whatever. We kind of do like same length sets. And then we do a thing at the end together. But nice. I mean, you know, it's a way to just go up, do 35 minutes in front of people who they get a lot of steps in the jokes ahead of time. Like, so there was a bit I was like writing like a second before the stage. Like I had to write out like a whole page of something and then like cue up all this music shit. Like it was literally like last minute. Oh shit, it would go great with like the Terminator 2 soundtrack.
Right.
And it worked fucking great. And I was like, this is what I love about comedy.
Yeah.
When I used to do open mics in DC, and then when I started in like Santa Monica at the West Side Comedy Theater.
Yeah, used to host that mic.
Yeah, it was like super fast and loose, and we do a ton of things where it's like, oh, talk to the sound guy, get this song queued up, and like you come in during my set and like fuck with it, and like that is fun to me.
Yeah,
just really like something you're seeing that night that was only that night.
Yeah, that is great.
And I mean, it's a good way to just not get really tired of your jokes.
Yeah,
it's not like I get tired. But
I like that you do that.
Like sometimes I feel like I'm just saying the same things over and over again.
Right.
And I'm like, you know, I don't want to be like proselytizing also or like.
It's nice to hear that because when I riff, I'm like, am I wasting time or like getting rid of stuff or like is this not leading to anything? Like, because you kind of want to feel like you're building to something, and riffing, it's like, well, I can never do this outside of this moment or whatever.
I think it's the best thing to be doing for people to kind of get to know you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because they really will walk away. Like I've kind of noticed that it's like, if everyone's just doing regular sets and then you do a set that's kind of more loose, but it doesn't maybe have the same hit ratio or whatever dumb number crunching of laughs per minute you want to do,
LPM.
People will absolutely, LPM's in the biz.
Yeah.
People will absolutely be walking away and be like, well, that one guy who did that thing
tonight,
that was like,
hilarious. Right.
That's what they'll remember.
Right. Yeah,
so,
totally.
I mean, you should take as many risks as possible. And I don't know. So that's the thing is like, I've had so much bad times, like doing a club, and supposedly it's like a big market that I know listens to my podcast or something, and it's like the ticket prices are way too expensive, so like 2 people will come out as opposed to like a full crowd, and like you just like the level that you can fuck around. Is I have to like introduce myself to this audience. Hi, I'm Hampton. What's going on? Like,
hello, my name is Hampton.
This is how I do stand-up.
Here's where I'm from.
What's
your name?
Explain shit. Whereas like, it's just so much easier to get up and be like, so you guys all listen to the Suicide Podcast, and I was thinking about mental health with this or whatever.
Right. That is really cool. Yeah.
Whatever you want, or they just know you. There's you remove that level of showbiz phoniness of always having to be like, it's got to kill every room.
Yeah.
And it's got to be like a magic trick where you can only watch it once and it's only good once.
Right.
Like, but it's actually like, you should really work to create an audience that's actually there for you. They want to have fun, and then you can take more liberties.
Yeah.
If you look at Stanhope's material, it's gotten way more like interesting.
Yeah.
And, like, different, and because he's been allowed to like evolve. And he's like a comic who never complains like, oh, it's too politically correct.
Right.
You know why? Because he worked to just make his audience. He's talking directly. He's not trying to get anyone else. He's not at odds with anybody.
I just love that he completely leans into his own thing. And he's like, he lives in fucking Arizona, and like he has a colorful
Scale
house.
down your costs.
Yeah.
Don't try and be the fucking Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And you can figure out a rational way to have like a fun existence in comedy,
My friends got really mad at me because I said I should be famous. And they're like, you fucking idiot. Which I got mad at. Oh, yeah, sorry, we got to go. All right, hey, thanks, guys. Please remember to rate, subscribe, and review on iTunes. This has been Group Chat with Robbie Goodwin. Thank you very much, Hampton. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, dude.